McGuire here with a very special guest joining us via telephone. He is on his way to a tour across Canada. It is Justin Moore. How are you?
I'm good, buddy. How you doing?
Very well, my friend. You're on the Brad Paisley H20 tour.
We are. We're having a blast, man. It's a huge opportunity for us to get to play in front of that many folks every night. We're having a good time.
You're playing all across Canada with Brad and Darius Rucker as well. Is this your first time in Canada?
It will be our first time to spend an extended period of time in Canada. We were up in Toronto for one quick show and then bounced back down to New York. But we're looking forward to it, man. It's been a long time coming for us, so we're looking forward to getting out and playing in front of some folks who maybe aren't as familiar with our music as some other folks. So we're looking forward to it.
Your hometown, a little farther away than any of the Canadian dates, obviously. Take us down the main street. Walk us down the street, if you could, of Point, Arkansas.
Well, there's no stoplight, just a few stop signs, but it's one of those towns, man, where really the only things that mattered is church and family and sports on Friday night. And I loved it, though. I grew up on 100 acres and grew up hunting and fishing and that kind of stuff, and look forward to moving back there one day. And I have an 8-month-old daughter now, so I want her to grow up the same way I did. But it's a great place to grow up, a great way to grow up.
Hey, how old are you now?
I'm 26.
26 years old. You sound like you've already lived just an amazing life. Is it true your first band was playing with your uncle?
It was, yeah. I grew up, when I was in high school, I played with my uncle. He had a Southern rock band and played old country and Southern rock, Leonard Skinner and Marshall Tucker band, that kind of stuff. And, it never does anything but good when you go play music. The more you play, the better you get, just like anything else. And, that was the first time I ever really learned how to play with a band, and obviously it came in handy.
Some people say you're probably one of the few authentic, original country singers out there among the group of all these young new artists that are out there. Do you credit that mostly to your growing up, or where does that come from, you think?
Well, thank you. That's a compliment, by the way. But, yeah, you know what? I can't. I'm a big fan of people who do, what they do, regardless what it is. And, to me, the old school stuff is all I can do. I mean, that's what I grew up on and what I enjoy listening to when I listen to, music. That's what I like listening to. And, my voice is so country. I don't think I could pull off anything else. But, I
mean, no Led Zeppelin covers in your future or anything like that?
I don't think so. But, I will say that the different styles of country music have been good for our format. I remember, though, when you didn't have to ask what kind of country do you do when you told somebody you play country music. But it's brought new fans into our format. But me personally, I'm do more of the traditional stuff, and that's because, like I said, that was what was playing in my dad's truck when I was growing up, and that's just the way I write songs. So.
And speaking of writing songs, you wrote like 9 out of 10 of the songs on your self-titled album there. Was that kind of something you wanted to do when you finally got the chance to make a full record? Was that something you wanted to make sure happened?
You know what? I didn't go into the record going, I have to write every song or anything like that. But you know what? To me, the songs that we had ready for this album, it just made sense. And I've kind of learned playing music over the past few years in front of, so many fans that they want to know who you are, as an artist. But I think it matters to them more that you know who we are as people. So I think we did a pretty good job of picking songs that showcased who I am as a person, good, bad, or ugly. And it just kind of happened that way that we put a lot of songs on there that I wrote. And I think also for me personally, there's a gift to performing a song and selling it without writing it. And I don't know that I'm there yet as an artist, but I can do that better with songs that I do write. So it just kind of happened that way.
You're on Big Machine Records in the U.S., and then here in Canada is Open Road Recordings. The same labels as Taylor Swift, Rascal Flatts, some huge stars. The list goes on and on. At the same time, I understand that you were one of the first acts ever signed to Big Machine. Is that right?
Yeah, I've met Scott Borchetta, the head of our record label, prior to him actually even opening the company. And we knew we wanted to work together, but we was just kind of finding a time and a spot there when we could. And when he opened the Valerie Music Company, the second imprint of Big Machine Records, it kind of was the perfect timing for both of us. And it's been a great relationship, man. I'm very lucky that I'm at a spot where they trust me to do what I do. And obviously it is attributed to the fact that we've had some success. So, but I'm very fortunate to have gotten to write what I've gotten to write on the album, and they let me do what it is that I do.
Does it surprise you to see how big this has become since you were having kind of those backroom meetings with Scott, and to see hey, I have this idea, I'd like you to be on this label, and now you see just pardon the pun, but just how big of a machine you're a part of now? Like, does that surprise you these days?
You know what? It doesn't surprise me of Scott. He's one of those guys that he's going to succeed no matter what he does. But I mean, if you pinpoint it to my success personally, yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is the goal, and this is what you dream of doing. But it's a dream. It's not to be cliche or cheesy, but I mean, we live our dream out here every day, and everybody goes to Nashville or wherever, and in the hopes that this is going to happen one day. But personally, I was, cautiously optimistic. I remember going, I'll give it a shot. If it works, great. If it don't, I'll move back to Arkansas and do this or that. But I feel like one of the most blessed people in the world to get to go out, and I wake up every morning and love what I do, and there's not a whole lot of the world's population that get to say that. So
everybody has that one thing they want to see or do or own, that they picture, something that tells them they've made it. What do you think that thing is for you?
I don't know. I'm getting ready to probably build a house next year, so I guess maybe when I get a house, that'll be the spot. Now, I did the first thing I bought was a boat. So, but it was not brand new, fancy, that kind of stuff. I mean, it was not much at all. But just to work for something that's so long and always want something and go, okay, I'm going to buy a boat, and so because I hunt and fish all the time, so that was pretty cool.
So now you just need somewhere to park it.
I just need to be able to have time off to go use it.
Well, talking about time off, here in Canada, again, you're touring across the country with Brad Paisley and Darius Rucker. Those guys are monsters, just in music, period. What do you see coming off this tour? What do you hope to gain by the time this is done?
You know what? It's a huge opportunity for us to be on a tour with guys like that are pros and have been doing it forever. And you learn so much just being out on the road with those guys, from being backstage to watching them on stage and that kind of stuff. And hopefully we can one day be doing our own show like Brad, and not be the guy out there opening the show. And but he's a class act, and so is Darius, and it's been great for us to see kind of how it works out here.
His name is Justin Moore. He is a star on the rise, to say the least, and nothing but great things in the future, my friend. Thank you so much for joining us today. Appreciate the time.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it.